Hi guys, it's Michelle from My Craft Source. I'm thrilled that you are here today because that means we're going to take some baby steps together and learn how to use the Silhouette design software. If you're watching this, it also means that you maybe have struggled a little bit or you're in your infant stages of learning how to use the Silhouette. Either way, I'm so happy to show you the process of getting started and going over some of the awesome features that the software has to offer. See you guys around. Let's begin by opening Silhouette Studio together. Double-click your studio icon or right-click to open. You will notice when you open Silhouette Studio, Untitled 1 tab will be open. You can create a new drawing by clicking the new drawing icon. This is the open icon. If you have a file that you wish to open, this is where you would browse your computer and open that file. Here we're going to save today's demonstration by using the Save As icon. This is the Send to Printer icon. We don't need to print yet, so I'm just going to cancel that out, but it's good to know that that's there. The first thing we need to do is set up our page. Under the Page Setup icon, you can create a custom size or a pre-loaded size of the material you're going to be cutting. If you want to create a custom size, you can simply slide the scale bars left and right to choose the dimensions of the material you're going to be cutting. Or you can type in an exact dimension in the text box. With the orientation buttons, you can choose portrait or landscape depending on how you wish to load your vinyl onto your mat. Under the cutting mat section, this is where you'll choose the dimension of the mat you're going to be cutting on. We're going to select a 12 by 12 for today's demonstration. You can also select a 12 by 24 if that's what you're using at the time, or any other size in between. You also have the option of selecting no mat. With the Rotate View buttons, it will take your mat and rotate it to a selected view preference. You'll notice an arrow at the top of your cutting mat. This is the direction in which you're going to load your material into your cutter. It is important that whatever is on your mat in real life mimics the size and dimension and layout in Silhouette Studio. You can use these boxes to show your print border or your cut border. Since we're not printing, we do not need to show our print border at this time, but we do need to show our cut border. On the next icon, this allows you to turn your grid on and off, allows you to snap to grid, and allows you to adjust the spacing and the divisions of our grid, or we can choose to turn the grid off, depending on our preferences. This is your registration marks. We're not going to go over this today because this is a little more of an advanced feature, but we'll come back to this in another video. We're quickly going to draw a rectangle for this demonstration. We'll come back and review over the drawing tool shortly, but for now, let's just simply click and drag to draw a basic rectangle. Here is your cut icon. You can use this icon from the toolbar, or you can right-click and use the cut button from your dialog box. There's also the option to paste. You can also use the right-click method to paste or the icon. The undo button is one of my favorites. Just click it to go back in time if you've made a mistake, or click forward if you want your changes to revert back to the original. This button is the Select All and the Deselect All. When you click it, it'll unselect everything within your project. This one here will allow you to select things using the same line type, line color, or fill color. The next tools are our zoom tools, so we can zoom in and zoom out, or we can use the mouse click drag button to select the area we wish to zoom in at. The pan button allows us to grab our design and move it around. And the last button allows our mat to be seen in screen and will center it to your view. We're going to continue on with more of the tools that Silhouette Studio offers. So we have the selection tool, and then we have the point select tool. This is your select tool. By choosing this, it allows us to select the objects on our screen. You know the object has been selected when the dimensions are displayed on your screen. You will also notice white squares on the corner of your objects. When you change to the Edit Points option, they will turn to a gray square. The Edit Points allows you to manipulate an image to customize it and make it your own. So here you can see I have clicked and dragged the points of the rectangle to manipulate it to make it my own. You also have the option of editing the points by right-clicking the point. When the dialog box pops up, it gives you the option to delete a point or to break the path. By breaking the path, it allows you to turn your polygon into just lines. You can create a polygon again by connecting the two red dots at the end. If you want to exit the point edit mode, just right-click and click on the dialog box, or hit escape on your keyboard. Now let's go over our line tools. This icon allows you to draw a line. If you wish for your line to be straight, then you will hold the Shift key down and it'll create a straight line. The next tool is a Draw a Polygon. So it creates a continuous path of lines that you can connect at the end to create a polygon. The Draw a Curve shape allows you to do a similar thing as the Draw a Polygon, except this time your lines are curved. You can edit the curves of your polygon by double-clicking the shape you drew and clicking on your points. It'll give you a slide bar that allows you to edit the arc of your curves The final tool in the line drawing icons is the arc tool. You can adjust your arc by using the slide bar to create a larger or smaller arc depending on your preferences. Let me erase some of the previous drawings off of our workspace to help clarify the next tool. Now we're going to use our shape tool. Here we have the rectangle. If you hold Shift, it'll allow you to create a square. And then we have our rounded rectangle. Our rounded rectangle gives you the option to edit the curves of your square. In order to edit the curves, all you need to do is click the red dots and drag them to the desired shape. Now we have our ellipse tool. You can create an ellipse, or if you hold down the Shift key, you can create a circle. And our final shape tool is our Polygon tool. With our Polygon tool, you can adjust the amount of sides your polygon has by using the slide bar, and you can adjust the size of your Polygon tool by using the red dots. Let us erase the shapes so we can now do the drawing tools. Our first tool is our freehand drawing tool. We don't use this tool often, but it's there in case we need it. We also have a draw smooth freehand line tool, which is similar to the first tool, but it's less complex. Here you can see all the edit points that is on the freehand drawing tool. And here you can see the simplified version using the second tool. Now you can go in and simplify the edit points on your drawings by hitting the simplify button. Here we have our text tool. This is an important tool and is quite complex, so we're only going to brush the surface of this today, and I'll post a video on in-depth text editing in the future. So here I have written something in the text tool. You can go to the top toolbar to select the type of font you'd like to use, change the size, choose whether you want it bold, italicized, or underlined, or adjust the alignment of your text. That's all we're going to touch on today with the text tool. So let's wrap it up with our eraser tool. With the eraser tool, I'm going to draw a circle to help demonstrate what it can do. It allows you to do a solid erase and an outline erase. So let's see how that works. When you select your erase tool and click the outline option, you can see the eraser will only erase the outline of your drawing. This can be helpful in some instances, but when we want to create a solid shape, we need to click the solid button. Here you can see Studio generates a solid shape from our erased design. The knife tool is similar and also gives you the option of solid or outline when using the knife tool. So the solid selection will create two solids and essentially cut the design in half, creating two separate solid shapes. By selecting the outline, you can see that it's only erased the outline of our shape and created a gap. The red dots indicate the gap. When you double-click the red dots, it'll close the gap for you if you didn't want that gap there. So this is a lot of information to take in, so I'm gonna split my video up at this point. We will go over the right-hand toolbar in our next video session. So this is part 1 of the tools overview. Let us continue to learn about tools in our next video session.